childish sometimes.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 34 of the Omega Podcast. I'm Wes, and as you probably saw already, we're talking about Doctor Who and Muppets. With that in mind, let me turn on my perception filter. Much better. Me want cookie. Oops, sorry. I'm not sure what came over me. So, this episode is about Muppets and Doctor Who characters we found that were separated at birth. We scrounged through thousands of medical records and found these character matches just for you. Our first character is the world-famous Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Everyone knows him, but not everyone knows his Muppet brother, Pierre. Our next Doctor Who character, who we were not surprised had a doppelganger, was the Doctor Who character, Frobisher. His separated at birth buddy is none other than Nicky Napoleon. All hail the big talking birds. Lute appeared in the Series 1 episode, The End of the World. Lute didn't get much time to talk in this episode, but if he had, he would have mentioned his uncanny resemblance to Oak Tree from Sesame Street. Even Time Lords can be separated at birth. Take a gander at our friend, the second Doctor here. Now meet his Dream Lord counterpart, Mr. Between. See? Bow ties are cool, even on Muppets. Space Pig wasn't really genetically engineered by the Slitheen in the episode Aliens of London. His Muppet twin had been flying in space for decades. You may know him as Link Hogthrob. Now, the Crephaeus was a troublesome creature in the episode Vincent and the Doctor. He too was separated at birth. His Muppet twin is the even scarier Giant Chicken. Now, this Muppet Doctor Who separated at birth research comes from one of the drunken folks at the TARDIS Tavern podcast. Steve's research found that the beloved classic Doctor Who character, Jo Jones, also was separated at birth. Her soul sister is the song-singing, hepatitis C-having Janice from The Muppet Show. Our final Doctor Who character we found that was tragically separated at birth were the Galactic Undertakers, the Shanshith. Their Muppet counterparts are the Shanshith. I bet you saw that coming, didn't you? Alright, that takes care of episode 34 of the Omega Podcast. Make sure to tune in to our audio podcast in 2 weeks, where we'll be reviewing last year's Christmas special, The Next Doctor. We also have at least one interview, some news, and a brand new 5 questions for Who. You can send your Christmas feedback into theomegapodcast@hotmail.com. Tell us what you thought of this episode, or just send a Merry Christmas message to other Doctor Who fans around the world. Thanks, and good.
Omega.
Hello everyone, this is Wes from the Omega Podcast, and I wanted to ask all Doctor Who podcast subscribers for their help. In the recent past, Paul G., the developer of Who News application for iPod Touch, iPhone, and iPad, had someone in his extended family diagnosed with leukemia. That person was 12-year-old Andrew. Andrew underwent chemotherapy for his type of cancer, and thankfully seems to be in remission after many, many treatments. During his treatments, young Andrew was kindly granted a wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which grants wishes to children and young people fighting life-threatening illnesses. Due to the impact Paul has seen from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he has decided to donate all the profits from the sale of Who News for an entire month. Paul has decided to begin the sale starting the 23rd of November 2010, which marks the 47th anniversary of Doctor Who, and it will end the 23rd of December. The application costs only $3.99 in the US and £2.39 in the UK. And again, all the sales will go for that month to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The application Who News brings you the latest news from all your favorite Doctor Who, Torchwood, and Sarah Jane Adventure websites and podcasts in one easy-to-use application on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. Make sure to visit www.who-news.com omegaPodcast.com for details on what this great application can do, or look for the Omega Podcast episode 14 on YouTube for a full review to see this application in action. Make sure not to miss this opportunity to help support the Make-A-Wish Foundation and get one of the best Doctor Who apps out there at the same time. And if you're listening to this, it's because you're probably listening to a podcast from the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance, a great group of great podcasts that love to spread the word of Who. Make sure to learn more about the DWPA by going to www.drwhopodcastalliance.org. Thanks and good luck.